I want to run through some notable moments from your Duke basketball career thus far. The first being the '92 NCAA East Regional Finals. You're playing Kentucky. Kentucky leads 103-102. Duke calls timeout with 2.1 seconds left. What do you say to your team and your reaction to what followed after that?
I'd be lying if I said I thought really we were going to win. But as a leader, you have to portray the confidence of saying we're going to win. And you try to get everybody on the same page. So when we called a timeout as they came over to the bench, as they're coming, I said, we're going to win. Again, we have this eye-to-eye contact, truth thing, trust. And I said, we're going to win. You understand that? We're going to win. Now, again, I'm not saying I'm this prophet or anything like that, because I'm not. But you try to put them in a position where they feel that. And then we went through what we were going to do. And Grant was going to take the ball out, Christian was going to come up, and if he couldn't get a shot, he was going to hit guys going to the basket, and hopefully you get a shot. In those situations, you want a shot. I asked Grant, I said, can you throw the ball 75 feet? And he said yes. And a lot of times, when you ask somebody to do something, they say they'll do it. In their mind, they've already done it. Then I asked Christian, I said, if when you come off to the baseline, will you catch it? And Christian said, Coach, if Grant throws a good pass, I'll catch it. And he had a way of like breaking the ice. Not that it was funny, but it was, okay, there was another voice in there. And I said, okay, and then Grant threw it, and Christian caught it. He wasn't supposed to dribble it, but he dribbled it, and then he hit his 20th shot that day. He was 20 for 20, 10 for 10 from the field, and 10 for 10 from the free throw line. And so pretty good chance that, to go to him at that point. Red was coming up all the time on the roulette wheel, let's put it that way.
And that was all that was needed. Duke won as time expired, and the rest is history. You played Kentucky again in the '98 title game. You're up by 17, but then as 10 minutes tick off the clock, Kentucky ends up coming back and winning the game. After the game, everybody's crying on Duke, from players to the sports information director to the trainer, and everybody's consoling each other as well. And you said you realized at that point that it was a great year.
Well, that '98 was 3 years removed from me being out a half a year. It was 2 years removed from being, and we were 13 and 18. It was 2 years removed at the end of the '96 season from being 18 and 13. In other words, we were 31 and 31 for those 2 years. And now this group that we were going to try to build our program and get everything back together and put us in a position where we're that close. But it didn't happen. But it did happen. In other words, I knew with that team and how they all felt that what we had done for the last 3 years to put us in that position had taken hold. And so the result of the game was not going to ruin what we had built. It really confirmed itself. In other words, we should be crying and we should be beyond being consoled because we've put so much into it. And I didn't know just how much we put into it until that moment where I saw what the loss of the game